love. It's meant to be a bond unbreakable, a force that can conquer all. We're told that love will protect us, guide us, and give us a future. But what happens when that love is built on lies? When the very foundation of what we hold dear is nothing but a fragile mask hiding the darkest of secrets. Cut to a darkened wedding hall, the flicker of a candle lighting the room. The camera lingers on a forgotten aisle, the wedding chairs tipped over in a chaotic mess. This is the story of Derek, Leah, and Terren, three lives bound together by love, friendship, and betrayal. A tale that begins with a wedding, but will soon reveal a truth so shocking it will tear everything apart. The camera focuses on a beautiful wedding photo of Leah and Derek, their smiles picture perfect, unaware that their happiness is about to be shattered forever. The camera zooms in on Derek, dressed in a formal wedding suit, standing at the altar, but his face betrays anxiety. His hands are shaking. He stares at the floor, eyes filled with conflict. Leah, the beautiful bride, is walking down the aisle, glowing with excitement. Leah, the stunning bride, full of joy and anticipation. Derek, the devoted husband-to-be. But his heart was a battlefield, torn between love and guilt. And then there was Terren, the best man, the man who stood beside Derek as more than just a friend. What Leah didn't know was that the bond between Derek and Terren was not what it seemed. It was a bond woven with lies, with secrets that neither of them had the courage to reveal. Cut to flashbacks of Derek and Terren sharing quiet moments, laughing, talking, looking into each other's eyes with a depth of emotion that goes beyond mere friendship. Derek and Terren had been inseparable for years. Best friends, sure, but their bond was far deeper, far darker than anyone could imagine. A secret love had been growing between them for years, an affection neither was brave enough to face until it was too late. Cut to Derek and Terren sitting alone one evening, exchanging a lingering look, a touch on the arm. The tension in the air is palpable. It was on one fateful night, as they sat together, that everything changed. One touch, one look, that one moment when they crossed the line, when their bond turned into something forbidden, something dangerous, a secret they both tried to bury, but it was already too deep to escape. Cut to the morning of the wedding. Derek stands in front of a mirror, adjusting his tie, his reflection staring back at him. But his eyes are full of doubt. He takes a deep breath, trying to mask the fear that is creeping inside him. The wedding day arrived, a day that was meant to be filled with joy, with promises of forever. But for Derek, it was a day filled with dread. The man who stood at the altar wasn't the man who had vowed to love Leah. He was a man consumed by guilt, by fear, and by a secret he could never reveal. Leah walks down the aisle, smiling, her eyes sparkling with happiness. The camera focuses on Derek's face as his eyes shift from Leah to Terren, who stands as his best man. Their eyes meet in a brief moment of silence, and the weight of their hidden connection hangs in the air. As Leah walked down the aisle, unaware of the storm brewing inside her soon-to-be husband, Derek was torn between the life he had always known and the secret love that had consumed him. Each step Leah took toward him felt like a final nail in the coffin of the truth he had been hiding for so long. The wedding reception begins, filled with laughter, music, and joy. But Derek seems distant, his smile forced, his eyes constantly searching for something or someone. Terren stands by his side, his gaze following Derek's every move. The reception was a celebration, a night meant for joy. But Derek was not happy. His mind was consumed by guilt, by the growing distance between him and Leah. He kept glancing at Terren, and in every moment of eye contact, the unspoken truth hung between them like a heavy weight. Cut to Leah, beaming with happiness, oblivious to the tension between the two men. She notices Derek's strange behavior, but brushes it off, thinking it's just wedding stress. Leah, in all her bliss, could see something was off. Derek wasn't acting like himself. He was distracted, distant, and as the night wore on, the tension between the three of them became impossible to ignore. Derek, torn between his loyalty to Leah and his forbidden love for Terren, could no longer keep his secret buried. Cut to a quiet moment, late at night. Derek sneaks out of the bridal suite, his heart pounding. He walks down the hotel corridor, his mind racing with fear and guilt. He knocks on Terren's door. The night was long, and Derek knew he couldn't escape the guilt any longer. The weight of his secret had become too much to bear. He needed to confess, to speak the truth, to face the man he had wronged. And so, with trembling hands, he found his way to Terren's room. But what would happen next would change everything. Terren opens the door, his face a mixture of surprise and relief. Derek steps inside, and the door shuts behind him with finality. In the darkness of that hotel room, Derek and Terren were forced to confront the truth they had both been running from, the love they shared, the bond they had kept hidden from the world. What could they do now? Could they continue living this lie? Or was it finally time to face the consequences of their actions? Cut to Leah, who wakes up in the bridal suite, her eyes searching for Derek. Panic sets in as she realizes he's not beside her. She slips on a robe and rushes into the hallway, the quietness of the hotel amplifying her growing anxiety. Leah woke up, her heart pounding in her chest. Derek wasn't there. She knew something wasn't right. She could feel it, deep in her bones. Something had changed, and as she searched the darkened hallways, following an instinct she didn't understand, she arrived at the door of Terren's room. Leah hesitates, then knocks on the door. The sound goes in the silence. After a long pause, Terren opens the door, revealing a disheveled Derek standing behind him. In that moment, everything changed. Leah's world shattered as the truth became undeniable. Derek and Terren's secret was laid bare before her eyes. The man she had just married, the man she trusted, had been living a double life, a life filled with betrayal, love, and lies. Leah's eyes burn with fury. She steps into the room, her voice trembling but sharp, demanding answers. Derek stumbles, trying to speak, but the words catch in his throat. The truth hit Leah like a freight train. Betrayed, humiliated, she could barely comprehend the reality of what was happening. She lunged at Derek in a blur of rage, and with one swift motion, her hands grabbed a heavy lamp beside the bed. She swung it with all her might, and in that moment, everything stopped. The lamp crashes against Derek's head, and the room falls into stunned silence. Derek collapses, lifeless. Terren rushes to his side, but it's too late. The once happy bride stood frozen, the weight of her actions slowly sinking in. The life she had just begun had already ended. The man she had married, the man she had trusted, was gone, and the man she had never suspected of betrayal now lay beside him, just as lifeless. The room is silent. Leah stands amidst the wreckage of her life. Her hands tremble as she stares at the bloodstains. the reality of what she has done finally sinking in. What began as a celebration of love, a promise of forever, had ended in a tragic loss. Leah, once filled with hope, now sat amidst the blood and the chaos of her own making. She had crossed a line that could never be uncrossed. The consequences of her actions were too great, too devastating to escape. The camera slowly fades to black as the haunting sound of Leah's sobs echoes in the distance. In a world where love is built on lies, where secrets fester in the dark, the truth always comes to light. But when it does, it can destroy everything. Derek, Terren, and Leah, their lives are forever changed, their futures lost in a single night of betrayal. This is a story of love, loss, and the devastating cost of deception. And as we leave their story behind, we are left to ask ourselves, what price do we pay when the truth is hidden beneath layers of lies? For more stories of love, betrayal, and the consequences of the secrets we keep, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. The truth is out there, and it's always waiting to be revealed.